Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today we are doing another installment of the makeup looks inspired by my antique earring collection video series. So it's been a while since I did one of these. I intended on doing one like a month and this is only my third one this year. So here we are. Let's get into it's kind of like a shop my stash video in a way, you know, but like inspired on earrings. So if you like that type of video, if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you've not already, please click that subscribe button. I upload 2 times a week. It's totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back on the channel again. All right, let's get into the look. All right, so I went ahead and did my base makeup and everything that's like the less creative portion of the look, for better lack of, what else do I call that? But these are the 2 palettes that I'm going to use to go with the earrings today. So I wanted to use these anyway because if you watch the video with Wesley and I'll leave it in the cards here. I was talking about how this color story isn't really doing too much for me on its own. And I had a recommendation from one of you to pair it with this one from the same brand. I actually haven't played with this one even on its own, but I can see how this would give you some more possibilities. And there's some nice reds in here that I want to be able to use to go with, this is our earring inspiration today. It's like kind of a little tribal moment in my mind. What do you guys think? But then with the red stone in it, it's really, really nice. So I will throw those on at the end. Let's go ahead and dip into these. So I showed you that was the Berlin 89 from Lethal Cosmetics. And just in case you haven't seen it, here is the Lethal is Dead color story from the same brand, collaboration with Teresa is Dead. I'm actually going to start with prefab here, this one in the crease. And I'm still testing out these Laura Lee Los Angeles brushes. So far they're a little like flimsier. The bristles aren't as stiff as my Morphe ones that I'm used to using, but they still work fine. I think it's just more of a learning curve situation that I need to get used to. Let me know if you've tried these brushes. I really enjoyed the face brushes from the brand so far. They all came as one set together. I did just watch her vlog, Laura Lee, and she said that apparently these brushes aren't coming back once they're sold out, and they are in low stock. So if you're interested in these brushes, you might want to jump on that because it's going to be on soon. And it's like an 11 or 12 piece brush set for $52. Plus you can use affiliate codes, so per brush it's pretty affordable. The only thing I put on my eye other than this transition shade so far is the ABH eyeshadow primer. Okay, little grungy gray moment. Love that for us. I'm also going to go in with THF. No idea what that stands for. This brown here. Just a little bit. Also a little bit lower in the crease. Today I am getting ready to go to a bridal show with my mom. Still don't have a date for the wedding. I really just, Wes and I want to find a venue first because we're not like super attached to a certain date, but whatever venue we really like might determine what our date is. And Wes and I's work schedules have been so hectic that we haven't really had a chance to go look at venues. So I don't have a date yet, but I still want to go to the bridal show just because I like getting ideas, just ideas for like what I could do, what's possible as far as like the theming and the aesthetic and all that kind of thing. Okay, this looks really good so far. All right, I think I'm gonna switch over to the Teresa is Dead palette now, and I'm gonna go in with Vengeful Spirit, this red, and I'm gonna put that on the outer corner here. Ooh. See, now I'm seeing what y'all are talking about. I'm seeing the vision. I am seeing it. Ooh, okay. That's nice. I switched, by the way. The first one I used from Laura Lee was an L26. This one's an L28. It's a little bit smaller, just so I can be a little bit more precise. I also did pick up the brushes from Blend Bunny the last time they were having a sale. I haven't tested those yet, but heard a lot of great things about those brushes and was looking for some more just like precise brushes in my collection, so decided to pick up this one and the Blend Bunny just to give myself some options. Plus my Morphe ones, they're probably 4 years old at this point, which I know brushes last forever, but some of them are starting to fray and shed and just get a little rough around the edges, you know, so I needed some nice ones. I'm gonna go back to the Berlin 89, and kind of in the same area, I'm gonna go with Sputnik, which is this deeper red. Yeah, I like those two layered on top of each other a lot. That's nice. All right, and because I want to keep that kind of red around, but I don't want it to be too harsh, I'm going to go in with Block, this red. And we're going to use that one kind of on the lower, just like the outer portion of the lower lash line. I don't like to go all the way on the lower with red because I do feel like it gives it just a ill type of look, if you know what I mean. I'm going to leave the rest of that blank because I think I'm going to wrap a shimmer around. Really like this like gray and brown with the red together. That looks so pretty to me. I think now with that last part, I'm gonna put Republic right there. And I'm gonna like color swatch off the pigment, but I'm still gonna use that same brush. Just put that in here. These mattes are blending beautifully together. Like better than I remember this brand being. I don't know. Has anybody noticed a change? If you're a Lethal fan and their formula getting better as they've done more releases? Okay, I've only used one shade in the Trees is Dead so far, so I need to use more from that one. Otherwise, we're basically just saying I like the Berlin one and not saying I can use, you know, the other one as an extension. So, what can I use? What can I use that's gonna go with it? Maybe I'll do Straight to VHS as my inner and little wraparound color. Let's try that. I'm gonna go with the Morphe M560. Yeah, that's pretty. Now I also did see someone recently talking about the Lethal liners. I'll link my Lethal video too, just in case you're interested. I had an awful time trying to put those gel liners in my waterline. It hurt. So I saw somebody say that they've used them as just like an eyeshadow base or as an eyeshadow, almost like a P. Louise situation or like one of the Halsey About Face eyelid paints. So I think I'm gonna try at some point to use the gel liners I got from Lethal to do something like that because the waterline thing was just not happening. Yeah, okay, so we incorporated a few things in there, and I could see too how if you wanted to go more blue or green, how you could use this palette and this palette together because there is a blue in here. There's also like this Republic has very like mustardy grungy tone that could go with some of those greens I think really easily in the other palette. So I see what you guys are saying for sure. All right, now I want to tap a little bit, just a little bit of the multi-chrome breakthrough just on the lid between like reddish shades and this Republic kind of mustardy shade. Just give it a little sparkle right in the middle. It looks like it's shifting green on my finger, but I'm not seeing that shift show up on my eyelid. I remember watching, I think it was Teresa actually review these and saying like they're not the strongest shifting as far as multi-chromes and things go with, you know, a lot of the other indie brands out there. But it adds a little something to the look, I do believe. I would have popped a little bit more with glitter glue, but I honestly didn't even think of it just because this is a very smooth, like the texture of it feels like a normal metallic. It doesn't feel like a lot of indie brand like special shades do texture wise. It's really smooth and just feels like a normal metallic. So, all right. I don't know, this is like different for me, but I really do like it. What next? I think I just want a little bit of a liner, but do I want to do, I'm trying to be like, do I want to do boring? I don't know. Part of me wants to just be like big, bold, blue wing, but that's not going with the vibe of the earrings because the goal is to go with the earrings here. So I'm kind of like, okay, what should I do for that? Because I almost feel like black would be too harsh, if that makes sense. Maybe I'll try going back in with Vengeful Spirit and see if I can make a little bit of a winged liner since it is such a deep red. Yeah, it's not really showing up. Let's see about Sputnik. No, same thing. Since I used it on the outer portion, it's not really showing up. So I guess I will go with East and West, which is the matte black in the palette. I'm doing this on a Morphe M508 in case you're wondering. All right, that's okay, right? That looks good. I will say too, for both of these, really nice as far as like no fallout whatsoever. All right, so before I do lashes and stuff, I'm gonna do a couple more complexion things. I put a little blush on, but I feel like it's so light compared to this look. I'm gonna go in with the Clown Blush palette from Likely Makeup, and I'm gonna put a little bit of this deepest shade here, Circus. Not too much because this is super pigmented, but I just want a little more of that like berry red tone than I'm getting right now. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better with this particular eye look at least. I barely tapped in once too, guys. These are so pigmented. They're really nice if you haven't checked out the blush quads from Likely Makeup. I have both the Fairy and the Clown blushes. They're so nice. And let's get in some highlighter, you guys. So we're gonna go in with the Mars Melter Space Age highlighter from Kaleidos because it just calls for it. The look really calls for it. I almost feel like this as a topper, like for that middle shade, instead of the Lethal Cosmetics multi-chrome shade, might have been a little more impactful, but here we are. I'm using the Kaleidos H2 Precision highlighter brush. Okay, I was dipping in like, why isn't it coming off? You guys, I must have not slept enough last night because the plastic was still on it. That's why nothing was coming off. Good grief. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Ooh, okay. Now we're in business, y'all. Now we are in business. All right. It's coming off pretty pinky, more than red, I feel like today, but that might be just layered with the really pigmented blush that I applied. That is it's just such a glow, you guys. I love the glow, I really do. Kaleidos knows what they're doing with their highlighters, for sure. All right, I'm gonna go curl my lashes, add mascara, and perfect a lip, and I will be back with the final look. All right, guys, here's the final look. What do we think? These are definitely different earrings for me, but I like them a lot. What do you guys think? It's like glam and kind of has that like femininity to it, but then it's like a little edgy with the spikiness to it, if you know what I mean. It's like a mix. That's like my favorite when styles mix, when it's like more edgy and floral, or like just a combination of things that I really like. So anyway, I added my Buxom Mascara, and then I added the Revlon Color Stay Matte Light Crayon in shade Souffle All Day. So this is the final look. Thank you for the recommendation of trying those two Lethal palettes together. I definitely think I'll be able to get a lot more use out of the Lethal is Dead color story by pairing them like that. I really like this, and I'm excited to go to the bridal show with my mom. So thank you so much for watching if you stayed all the way to the end, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye!